Yeah, so if the data in this particular variable matches with pattern 1, it is going to execute these commands. If it matches with pattern 2, it is going to execute those commands. Like that, you can write n number of patterns and you'll have pattern n commands. So you're done with all the patterns. What you need to do is you need to end the case loop, case condition by using ESAC. By using ESAC. So case reverse is ESAC. That's all. So here if you see the example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print enter value 1. So user enters value 1, I'll be having so read hyphen p enter value 2, right? So hyphen b. Now thing comes, okay, read hyphen p enter operator. Enter operator. I'm going to put it in a variable OP. I'm going to put it in a variable OP. So let me yeah, 15.sh. So here I'm going to put an additional thing. Let's say if user don't know what needs to enter in the operator, okay, so I'll just give some okay hint that okay, so use this add, subtract, multiply, or divided by. Okay, so usually while taking the input, so you'll get like this. So if we give SSH localhost, yeah. So you can see here by default some value is given. Okay, so it is something like this. We are giving some information to the user. Okay, you can enter any of these. Okay, the user will easily come to know. Okay, so if it is a regular user, he comes to know how to use the script. If it is a new user, okay, so he may not know what all the options needs to provide. So that's the reason in the command printing itself, okay, so we'll provide the options. Okay, so now what is the thing where I have the variable? I have the variable in op case dollar op in. If it is equal to add, then I need to perform addition. So as I need to tell that okay these commands are done, I have to use double semicolon and subtract and double semicolon, multiply double semicolon. You can give the double semicolon on the same line or the next line, anything is fine. So if it is divided by, and exact. That's all. Okay, now our script will validate okay by basically the input given by the user and it performs that particular operation. So enter value 20, enter value 10. So if I give add, I'll be getting only addition. See, I'm not getting everything. 10, 20, and even subtract. You're getting only subtracted thing. So you are giving 23. You're getting only multiplied output. if you are giving 24 and divided by, you are getting only divided by output. So usually, okay, so we use such conditions to validate the input, and one of the validation is case command. Okay, so you have certain issues with this, so I'm pretty fine with this script. Okay, so we are pretty fine with this particular. The same thing can be applied with, okay, so special variables also. The special variables you are going to put, so here what you have given, value 1 as first position, value 2 as second position, value 3 is going to be my operator, space add, and in my script I'm going to use OP is equal to $3 and I'll validate OP with case command. Okay, I can do it. Well, anyhow, we'll talk with examples, but as of now, okay, so there are certain situations with this particular script. Okay, so what is the script situations you have is, I'm giving 10, 20, so I'm a very new user, and okay, I'm giving small add. My script is not working. My script is not working. Okay, why it is not working? So let's say if user gives anything, okay, if user gives anything other than add, subtract, multiply, divided by, okay, he need to be informed with some message. Okay, he need to inform with some message. So that particular message you can give it with star. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, echo. So why we are coming here? We are coming here because user has not given invalid operator. So I'm just printing in red color so that user will get some attention, might be. And after that, okay, so exit 1. I'm exiting there itself. I don't want to entertain the user because he has not given the proper input. So if proper inputs are not given, so never entertain the user. So simply come out of the script there itself. If you feel something is wrong, come out there itself. Okay, never get into the script. Okay, so it may lead to some issues even. Okay, some loss of data, some loss of something. Okay, so never go without proper input. So script 20.sh, so I'm giving 10, 20, and something else. I'm getting invalid operator. Okay, now this is fine. So if there is something which is given by the user which is other than this, that's fine. So but if I give small add, my script is failing. Okay, so what you can do, so if the requirement who has given to you, okay, might have asked you, okay, to support even small characters also. What you do now, so what I'll do is simply I'll use, that's all. I'm going to use this one, that's all. So save. So script 20.sh, okay, so 10, 20, add, oh sorry, 10, 20, add, you're getting the output. So but you see this situation, and another user, he is using capital A and small dd. Again our script is failing. Again our script is failing. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We'll just come back. So here you are seeing, okay, so this pattern is different, but commands are same, right? Okay, so for that actually case provides a flexibility, okay, to write multiple patterns in the same pattern line using ADD or ADD. So pipe stands for R here, okay, small ADD or capital ADD. But the user is using, okay, capital ADD. So some other user comes and use capital ADD. Okay, so if I go like this, okay, I cannot support each and every, okay, so situation entered by the user by mistake or wantedly. You got my point, right? So there are 3 characters. Okay, so the total probability the probabilities of matching the characters is going to be 3 into 3, so it is going to be 9 probabilities. Okay, capital A, small d, capital A, capital D, small d, something like that. So if you just go and put, okay, it is going to come 9 probabilities. So which is not an acceptable thing, right? So if there are 4 characters, it is going to be 16. I cannot just go and, okay, so I mean, put all those possible situations entered by the user over there. Rather than, okay, I can use some commands. Okay, so in the best practices, okay, in the best practices, what we usually do is we take the inputs from the user, we will convert them all the characters to capital characters or all the characters to lower characters, and then we'll start writing our script. So in that way, it is going to be easy for us. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take the operator value, operator variable, and I'll convert all the characters from lower characters to upper characters, and upper characters are already defined here. I don't need to worry, right? So see here how to convert lower characters to upper characters. So you need to have a command called as tr. So tr does a lot actually. So we are going to use tr command to convert, okay, so from lower to upper, so from lower to upper. So I'm going to use it. So the syntax you have seen, right? So this is how we use the syntax. Now let's say I'm giving echo hi, I want to convert into upper character, so tr, so lower to upper. So you can see small hai has been converted from lower to upper. So even though if I give capital H and or we're talking about add, right? So we'll use that one only. So add, you're getting capital ADD, and even though if user is using one capital letter and all characters are converted to upper character. So I'm going to use this one and my script is done. So this is one way of converting the characters from upper to lower, and even you can use this syntax also. But this works only in Linux. Unix it will not work. So Unix is above syntax. So if you are going with Unix operating system, this is the syntax. But if you are doing in Linux, even it accepts this one also. Okay. So now I'm going to use this particular one. So after reading the value, so I'm going to put op variable equal to, so what I have, echo $op. So where is the value I have? In op, and pipe tr lower upper. That's all. So now we see this particular script is perfectly fine. Okay, so 10, 20, capital A, small dd, still it is working. Capital SU, small u, and small b. Okay, so still it works. So this is how usually people will do the things. Okay, so if I give SSH space localhost, so it is expecting actually, okay, so capital small s or no. Even if I give capital yes, okay, it has taken as yes actually. Because inside the SSH command they are accepting even if it is, okay, so capitals or small characters, they'll convert it and they'll use it. Okay, so whatever they have mentioned is lower characters here, so whatever the input you give, they'll convert into lower characters and they'll use it. So here we are converting into upper characters and we are using it. Okay, so that is how usually we'll standardize the taking the inputs from the user. Okay, so this is about case command. And yeah, so we discussed star. if you really, okay, so you're from administrator background, so what we are what we are doing to start a service, so we'll give slash etc init.d sshd, let's say, okay, you take any service sshd, what I give, restart. So how this particular, okay, so this one is taking this input by using special variable. So restart is going to be my $1 value. But okay, so based on this value, your script is going to work. If you are giving restart, it does stop and start. If you give only stop, it does stop. If you give only start, it does the start. So let's see here, etc init.d rhnsd. Okay, can you see here, okay, almost all the, okay, commands of init script always uses case statements. Okay, so case $1, what is $1? $1 is nothing but the first value you have passed, right? We already talked about. So case $1, if it is equal to start, he's calling start function. If it is equal to stop, he's calling the stop function. If it is equal to status, he's calling the status function. If it is restart or force reload, he's calling stop function and start function. So every okay, so every pattern he is ending with double semicolons. So this is whatever we have there, okay, whatever we have done over there, he's also doing the same thing here. But here his requirement is different. He is using a different command. There our requirement is different, we are using a different commands over there, that's all. Okay, so you need to build up, okay, so you know the conditions, how to make the conditions with case command. So you need to build up your you need to put your own commands over there and you need to start using it. Okay, so for an instance, let's try to write a small script. Okay, so I want to write a small script which is something like a monitoring script. Okay, so my monitoring script is going to be on.sh. So here in this particular script, I'm going to monitor two things. Okay, so I'll just give echo select a value. I just want to make a menu. Okay, I just want to make a menu. So even you can print these characters in underlined. Okay, so how can you print console underscore quotes set underscore set 4 hyphen e slash e 4m. So means I'll get an underlined character. So slash because it is going to be by my heading. Okay, so chmod. So can you see here I are getting an underlined one. So for that I'm just using 4 actually. Now what I'll do is the first one I want to check memory. Okay, so check CPU load and finally echo that check disk usage. I'm just writing. Okay, you may not use it, just for your understanding. Okay, so I'm going to expect a value from the user. Read hyphen. Here I'll, instead of selecting a value, monitoring menu and just, and here I'll use select a value. So what I'll do is user selects a value. So by using read command. So till here it is very clear. So I'm just using only echo commands to print the menu. So this is my monitoring menu. Okay, so I'm just so printing. So if user selects 1, so based on the 1 value I want to work. If it is 2, based on the 2 value I have to work. So how can I validate those things? By using case command. So case $val in, if it is equal to 1, if it is equal to 2, and if it is equal to 3. Okay, so 3 things we have. So 1 means I want to check the memory. So check the memory is will display a value. Rather than that, I don't worry. Okay, so I just want to check memory means I want to print total memory. I want to print free memory. That's all. That is fine for me. Okay, so how to get the total memory? So I'll take with free -m only. So by grep mem, and we can directly go with auth command or search with grep mem. All these things are we already discussed. There is nothing new here. So the only thing is approach. Print $2 is total memory. And whereas what is free memory? $4. That's all. I just want to print these things. So VIM non.sh. Or else we'll directly print it. How do we print it? Total memory equal to this one. So that's all. So I'm done with those commands. So here we'll just write. I'm just testing it. Okay. So exec. So /mon.sh. So 1. I'm getting total memory equal to this one. That's all. Okay. So if you select 2, there is nothing going to happen because we have not kept any condition. So CPU load, if you want to check, okay, so how do you check? You can check with uptime command. So uptime is going to give you the load average. Okay. So with load average, okay, so how can I get load average is arc. Okay, so I want to use a custom delimiter, so I can use with -f comma and print dollar. So I can use nf. Nf means nth field. I already told you nf -3, nf -1, 2, nf -1, nf -2. So it is nf -2. So load average it is 0.00. So I just use this command directly. That's all. So there is nothing much I don't want to use here. So I'll just use. That's all. Okay. So it is my load average. Whereas coming to the disk usage, okay, so I just want to check always. Okay, you can do a lot of things here. Again, you read which mount point you want to read it. Okay, so here I have only one mount point. Okay, so which is slash. So I'll directly use slash. So I'll be giving okay, so total size and available size. That's all. So how do I get that? So df-h slash, and out of this one, so I'll just remove a word file system, means that line will be removed. So I got this one. So how do I get a free memory? Total size print $2, 10 GB is my total size. So how do you get used $4? That's all. So mon.sh echo total size. Here you can put a lot of conditions like read which mount point you want to, okay, you want to check something like that. You can write one more read commands, but I want to make easy things sample script. So just for understanding we are writing. So where do we use these things? Echo total size. So echo the size is equal to this is $2 and that is $4. So now, so there is a chance that user may enter something else. Okay, so now it is your call actually. If it is something else, what you want to do? Okay, you want to give the menu back again, or you want to exit there itself. So it's your call whether which one you want to do. Whether you want to give the same function again, same values, same menu again, or you want to exit there itself. So here in this situation, okay, I'm decided to give the menu again. Okay, so to give the menu again, so you need to have one more option to come out of the script. Okay, so which is 4, and I have to use exit. So here even in this situation, exit. But in case if it is something else, so what you are going to do, I'm going to call a function called as menu. So this is my main program. Now it will become my main program, and even here also I'll call the menu function. So this is my menu function now. That's all. So here also I'm calling this menu. So here also I'm going calling this menu. That's all. So if ./mon.sh, so if user selects 4, he'll come out. So if user selects 5, he'll get the menu back again. So while getting the menu, okay, so I'll just give one more thing to the user that, okay, so you're doing something wrong. So I'll just give echo -e /n/e /n/e. So open 31M. So select a proper value. So I'll just give 0M and done. And also I'll end with new line. So semicolon. So this is second command. So now /mon /mon.sh. So you are giving 4, you are getting coming out, you are giving 5. Okay, so select a proper value and you are getting here the menu back. Like this, your approaches has to be, and script always, okay, so modifies based on your approach, based on your requirement. Always script changes. Is that clear?
Yes, Shubhi, it's clear. Yeah, clear.
Now the next one which we are going to talk about is if statement. Okay, one more small thing in case command. So if you give man space bash, what all we are talking about, we can see the condition, I mean everything over there. So in case command especially, yeah, so you can see here the case command. Okay, case word in, so pattern. Okay, so the list whatever we have written, so it just write it in a very straightforward way. Okay, which might be a little confusing, but if you read it actually you'll understand. And here what is the one we are using? Double semicolon. Okay, so but they have introduced other things also. So what they have introduced other things which are okay, which are rarely used options, but okay, they have introduced these things in bash version 3. Okay, they have introduced double semicolon ampersand, and very semicolon ampersand also will be there. Yeah, so you will have semicolon ampersand and double semicolon ampersand. So I have already explained these things in the book. Okay, you can just read them. Okay, even if you see the man page also, you'll understand man space bash is going to give you those things. So double semicolon is going to end actually, but if you don't want to end, okay, your case command, so we'll go with those. That's all. Nothing big deal. You can just go with. And yeah, now coming to the if statement. So if command, okay, so whenever we talk about if command, okay, we need to talk about the disadvantages of case command. So what is the case command and what all you have in case command is you can compare two things. Whatever the data in the variable, if it matches with our pattern or not, that's all. It simply matches whether the data in the variable is equal to pattern or not, that's all. Beyond that, it will not do anything. It cannot do anything. Okay, so but your if statement can do little more things. What all those little more things we'll talk about. But if we talk about if statement, so usually you'll see the if statement in three forms. Okay, so one is simple if, and the other one is if else, and the third one is else if. So in these three forms actually you'll see okay, so you'll see if statement. Now what is the syntax of your simple if? So if space, open the square bracket, space, your expression, space, close the square bracket, and then your commands, and you're done with your if statement. You have to end with fi, case exact fi, if fi, that's all. Okay, reverse of if, reverse of case. Okay, simple. So what is happening here? So if the expression is true, it is going to execute these commands. If the expression is false, it will not execute those commands. Okay, so if means if is checking if the expression is true or not. Okay, if it is true, it execute those commands. That's all. Now coming to the if else. Okay, so your requirement is if the expression is true, you want to do something. If the expression is false, you want to do something. So str then commands else some other commands. Yeah, fine. Okay, you're checking a user in the expression whether the user exists or not. Okay, so if the user exists, you want to do something. If the user doesn't exist, you want to do something. Simple. Okay, so something like that. So small conditions. Now, so till now you're checking only a single expression. If you would like to check multiple expressions at the same time in the single if statement, okay, so you have else if. So if, so you want to check multiple expressions, that's all. Okay, so then commands one. Elif stands for else if. Okay, so now second expression 2. So this is similar to your something like your case command. Okay, so you have multiple patterns, so he'll have multiple expressions and so on and so on and so on. Okay, you'll have elif, you'll have expression n, and then the commands related to expression n. So if none of these expressions are true, finally you can go and put else also. Okay, so char commands fi means if this expression is true, it executes these commands and come out. If this particular expression is true, it executes these commands and come out. So if this fails only, it goes to the second expression. If this fails, it goes to next. If all the expression fails, it goes to the else. So that is what is happening in the case command also. So if you observe, so if this is matched, it executes these commands and come out. If this match, it executes these commands and come out. Okay, the same thing with if statement also. Okay, so there is a chance that okay, this expression can be true and this expression can be true, but as first expression is already true, it executes those commands and it will come out. It will never go to the next expression, even though if it is true, it comes out. Okay, so that is how your if command is going to work. Now what we are doing here, okay, so we are checking all the time expressions, right? So what are the expressions we have? So we have the expressions. I have divided these expressions into 3 ways. Okay, so one is arithmetic. First one we'll talk about is arithmetic file test, and what is the other one? One second. String comparisons. Oh my god. String comparisons. Okay, so in the string comparisons, what you can do, you can compare two strings. So what are the operators you have in the expressions you can use is equal to and not equal to. Okay, so means the expression is going to be like this. Okay, so if you have two strings ABC equal to ABC, so you can check these things. And also if you want to check not equal to ABC, not equal to ABC. So this is going to be true if both are equal, but this is going to be true if both are not equal. So that because you have placed a not condition. Okay, so you are checking in a reverse way. That's all. Okay, so this is how you check the expressions. How you check the expressions. That's all. Now, okay, so I can write our example. So whatever we're doing addition subtraction by using string comparison. So how I can do the string comparison? So read hyphen p, enter value 1, which is a, read hyphen p, enter value 2, which is b, read hyphen p, enter the operator, so which is going to be add or subtract or multiply or divided by, so which is going to be in OP. So and again OP I'm going to put all the characters in capital characters, so OP pipe tr lower to upper. I'm done. Now I'm going to use else if here. Okay, so the first expression is going to be, so if I can use a simple if also. Let's use simple if firstly. If $OP is equal to capital ADD, P is equal to capital ADD, so semicolon then. So next line also you can put then, or in semicolon then also you can put. Semicolon determines two different commands. So then is a different command there. So I'm going to do echo addition is equal to $A plus $B and FI. So you can write multiple if statements rather than going with multiple. Okay, so multiple one, I'll go with else if, that's all. So $OP is equal to subtract. Okay, then I'll do one thing. I don't put double quotes. You'll understand why I'm putting double quotes. Echo multiply So don't think that we are doing only addition subtraction. So instead of addition subtraction, you are going to put your commands there. That's all. So finally, else. When else will come? If user has not given proper input. Okay, so invalid operator. I'll exit there itself and FI. Done. Okay. So script 21.sh. So I'm giving 10, 10, 20, and I'm giving add. It's doing only addition. But how it is doing only addition? By using else if now. So I'm giving 20, 10. That you divided by, I'm getting only divided by. Okay, so let's say I'm giving 20, 10, and I'm giving something else. What you are getting? Invalid operator. Pretty fine. Okay, so in this particular string comparisons, you have two operators which is equal to and not equal to. So we are using only equal to. So why I have why I have not used double quotes, just to understand you. This I'm giving enter. So previously, if you see case script 20.sh, which is our case script, okay. So even though if you give an empty value, you are getting an invalid operator. So here also you are getting invalid operator, but you are getting a lot of errors. Why you are getting errors? What is the condition you have used? You have used a condition OP OP equal to add. So what is our OP value? Empty value. So empty value equal to add. So this is an invalid syntax, right? There has to be some value here, but it is replacing with an empty value. The operator actually becoming like this. Okay, the expression is actually coming like this, and it is throwing the error. So it is expecting some value. So as you can see, semicolon equal to semicolon means some value has to be there. Okay, so after, before and after equal to, that is what they are trying to tell you. So, and we are missing that value, and hence if we use these things in double quotes, okay, so even though there is an empty value you have given, it will preserve that particular empty value with double quotes. So, and okay, the syntax is going to be correct now, because empty value is equal to add, it is going to check. That's all. Okay, so that is the reason whenever I go with so string comparisons operators, I always go with double quotes. Always keep this in mind, because to avoid errors, whenever I'm accessing strings in the expressions, I always use double quotes. I recommend personally, instead of ending with errors, using double quotes. If you use single quotes, what happens? So it checks $OP equal to add. It will not replace any variable, because you know already we discussed difference between single quotes and double quotes. So now if you give okay empty also, you are getting invalid operator. Okay, now the next one in this particular string comparisons you have is okay, so checking input. So now if I see so script 21.sh, I'm giving both values empty and I'm giving addition, again you'll get error obviously. Why? Because these both values are again empty. You are not validating okay whether the user has given input or not. The user whether the user has given input or not, you're not checking obviously. Okay, so to check whether the user has given input or not, okay, we have two more operators in string comparisons, which is hyphen z and hyphen n. Hyphen z and hyphen n. So if you want to know where I can get the help is again man space bash, search for hyphen z. Okay, yeah, you can see here. Okay, so what hyphen z is checking, telling is true if length of the string is 0. Okay, hyphen n, true if the length of the string is non-zero. Means we're going to put hyphen z on that string. Okay, we'll check whether the variable is having some data. If it is having some data, hyphen z is going to be false. Okay, so that's all. You can also check whether the variable is having, if the variable is set or not by using hyphen v. Okay, so here what I'll do is script 21.sh, if hyphen v a, so a is a variable or $a is a variable, let's see, then let's try. I'm just trying. Okay, long back I have used this option. See what happened if okay variable is not even set, so better not to go with this option. Yeah, I'll go with hyphen z and hyphen n and hyphen z only. So what I'm going to place a condition here, if hyphen z, so this is a string comparison, I'll put it in double quotes. So if hyphen z $a, if hyphen z $a, so means if the variable is empty, hyphen z is to check whether the variable, the string size you are going to put it over here is the content of the variable. When the content of the variable is 0, if you are not given anything, okay, the size is equal to 0, then what I want to do, I want to exit there. It's invalid input. So I don't want to entertain the user, I'll exit there itself because he has not given the input. Okay, let's see now whether it is working or not. So script 21.sh, so I have not given the input, it came out. If I give some input, it goes to the next line. Why? Because the condition fails. So we have used a simple if there. So now the same way I'm going to put it for second one, $B. Save and exit. So now let's try. So 10, 20. So if you are giving both the values, so script is working fine. Now let's say if I don't give first value, it is exiting. So let's say if I give first value, it checks. If second value is empty, it came out. So if I give both the values correctly, it entered into my script. Okay, so this is how, okay, so your string comparisons works. So there I am putting a condition that, okay, so -z if it is empty. Okay, so sometimes you may get a requirement of checking non-empty. Okay, so in that case you go with -n, that's all, non-zero you're checking. And the next kind of expressions you have is, okay, so numerical comparisons. Whenever you have numbers, here you are comparing which is string is nothing but characters and numbers combined. Okay, but here we are strictly talking about numbers. These string comparisons you are able to do with case command also, but you are unable to check whether the data is having whether a variable is having some data or not. But you cannot compare numbers. Okay, so what are the number operators you have? So again you can refer man space bash. Okay, so man space bash, and if I search for eq, yeah, so you can see here what all the operators you have available is -eq, -ne, -ld, -gt and -ge. So -eq to check equal to, -ne not equal to, -gt greater than, -ge greater than or equal to, -le less than or equal to, -ld less than. Okay, so you have 6 operators total. And also you can see here, okay, so in the in the string comparisons, if you see, you have an, okay, so if you use double equal to or you use single equal to, both are checking strings are equal or not. So some people might be using double equal to, so don't confuse. So both are same. If you see this, for both these things they have written one comment, means both, for both it is same. And also, okay, so they are checking string 1 and string 2, okay, by using greater than and less than symbol. By greater than, okay, they are checking first string is greater than second string or first string is less than second string. So you can check strings, okay, if you know an algorithm which is lexical. Okay, so you have an open algorithm in the internet. If you really understand that particular algorithm, okay, so then you come here and understand how it is comparing those strings. See, if I'm putting, okay, so if I'm putting if ABC is greater than capital ABC, okay, then echo high and FI. Now you are getting HAO. Okay, whatever it is printing means small ABC is greater than capital ABC. What is this? How can I tell whether how this string is greater than that string? I don't know. Okay, so if I give 1 is equal 1 is greater than 0, okay, my side, okay, I know mathematics, I can tell, okay, 1 is greater than 0, obviously, yes, this is true. But how this can be true, I don't know. To know that, you need to have a C algorithm which is lexical. So in that algorithm they'll explain you. Okay, so even, okay, you want to compare strings, it's a programming thing. Okay, so if you want to compare strings in any programming language, okay, they need to have a lexical algorithm to know that. Okay, if you know that, you can compare those strings. Otherwise we have to learn that. But usually from my experience till now I have not used these such situations. Okay, that's fine. If you want to learn, okay, so you have a lexicographical algorithm, you can just type in internet, you'll get it. Okay, not a big deal. So these are the operators whenever you go with, okay, so whenever you go with numbers. Okay, so to our script, where I can use our script, to our script, okay, so where I can use this particular thing is in the same example. Okay, so you have 20.sh. So I'll do one thing, so script 20.sh to script 2.sh. So VM script 22.sh. So here I'm going to use special variables. So A is equal to $1 and B is equal to $2 and OP is equal to $3. A is equal to $1, B is equal to $2 and OP equal to $3. So you save and exit. So script 22.sh. So you are getting invalid operator. So what is this invalid operator? I don't know. Okay, so I know the script because I have written the thing. I give 1020 add. So where you are getting invalid operator, your case command is checking $OP. Okay, it doesn't matches with anything. So this is what happening. Okay, but in the starting itself, I want to check whether the user has given proper inputs or not. Okay, so how do I check is, so how can we check number of values given by the user? Okay, in the special variables class we have talked about. So you can check it with $hash. $hash denotes, so if I give script 19.sh, see here, $0, $1, 2, 3, right? So if I give 1020, so what is your $hash? 2 means number of values you have passed, right? So for our script to work, I require the number of values equal to 3. So what I am going to put a condition, if $hash is not equal to 3, means if it is not equal to, say, my script mandatory requires 3 values. My script requires mandatory 3 values. Where is this? Yeah, 10, 20, add 3 values I have to require. So if it is not equal to 3, then what I'll do is I'll write a usage function. So the function of the usage function is usage. So usage functions you usually write. Okay, so means how to use the script. Echo. So usage is the word which we are going to put. Now I'm going to put $0. What is $0? $0 is the name of the script. Okay, so I'm just going to put name of the script and value 1, value 2 and operator, right? So and also you can give next line operators equal to add or subtract or multiply or divided by. Now when I came to this function, there is something wrong, so I'll exit 1 and that's all. Now you see here, so everything we have already talked about, but we're just talking the way how to use it, that's all. Okay, so here you are making a condition. So here our okay, number of values is not equal to 3, it went to the usage function. So you see here usage and my script name. Okay, I'm getting, so I told you, right? So usually we'll use $0 cp command use, you're getting cp. So /bin/cp, if you give, you're getting /bin/cp. Okay, if there is something wrong, they are printing some message. So here also in our script, there is something wrong, we are printing some message. So /bin/cp is the $1 now because the complete one you have. So that's the reason we always use $0s. We don't put the script name directly. Why? Because the script may be renamed in the future. And even, okay, so if you link the script, so script 22.sh, so let's say I give test1, so you'll give test1, so you'll get test1.sh, so $0 will become test1. So that's the reason. So we usually okay, we use $0. But if you are getting /, if I don't want to get the /, what I can do is, if I have a command base name of test1 will remove /. So if you give /home/sb48 /test1, okay, or test1, whatever it is. Okay, so what is happening? It is removing this one. It is going to remove the preceding directory structure. It takes the only file name. Okay, so usually that's the reason in our scripts you may see some scripts you may find. Okay, so people might be using, instead of $0 directly, they'll use base name of $0, command substitution base name of $0. That's all. So now my script, 22.sh. You are giving 22.sh. You are just getting rid of the dot slash. That's all. Okay, so nothing big deal. If you want to put it, no issue. So why? Because okay, so usually we execute the scripts with going into the directory and dot slash only we usually give. So in such cases we can. So now if I give 10, 20, 10, 20 add, so you are getting only addition. So where we came to the situation, we are discussing here, okay, arithmetic operator, which is not equal to. Okay, like that. Okay, so based on your requirement, you can use equal to or greater than or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, now the next one you have is the final one, so which is file tests. Means in Linux operating system, okay, so everything is a file. So your if command can validate the type of file also. The types of files you have is total 7 types of files you have. Okay, so one is regular file, and the second one is directory, and the third one is block file, means hard disk, so /dev/sda sdb, and the next one is character files, so which is nothing but your TTYs. Okay, so you TTYs and PTS. Okay, you can see here W, you always see PTS, right? So what is that? That is a character special files, so which will help you to take the input from the user. So you're typing in the terminal, okay, how the inputs are taken, there has to be something, right? So these character files works behind to take the input from the user. And the fifth one is link file, so link is also a type of file. And sixth one is named pipe file. Okay, so the pipes which we are using is unnamed pipe, so cat / etc password, okay, and pipe grepper, okay, root, you are using a pipe symbol which is unnamed pipe. Okay, so system pipes, but there is also a named pipe concept in the system, so that is also a type of file, you can use that. And the finally is socket file. The final is socket file. So these are 7 types of files if you come to file types. Actually, if you want to check a file type on file, what all you will be having, so file owners. So on file owners, okay, owner and permissions, we put like permissions. So you have a file owner and group owner. So you have two things. If you give ls-l, okay, so what all you can see file owner and group owner also. And apart from this, you can see permission. So what are the permissions you can check? Read, write, execute. Now, what are the special permissions you have? setuid, setjd, and sticky bit. So these are the total permissions you have on that particular file. And finally, okay, you can check file size also. Okay, file size you can check whether it is empty or non-empty. Okay, so these are all the things you can do in the file test. Okay, for each and everything you have an operator. Okay, to check a regular file you have an operator which is -r. Oh no, regular file, right? So -f. So to check a directory you have -d. To check a block you have -b. To check a character you have -c. To check link file you have -h. Okay, to check a named pipe file you have -p. To check a socket file you have hyphen small s or capital S. I also don't remember. Again go to bash. So you always have everything here. To check a socket file, okay, so it is capital S. Now coming to the owners, okay, so you have an option. Oops. you have an option -O. So to check group owner, it's almost equal to the first character actually, -G. And to read means -R, and to write -W, to execute -X. That's all. And for setUID, okay, so you have is -U, and setGID you have is -G, and sticky bit -K you have. You can see here somewhere it will be written -K. Can you see? It's a sticky bit, this one. And the next one you have is checking the file size. Okay, so size is smallest. You can see true if file exists and has a greater size than 0, means you are checking actually non-empty. If you want to check non-empty, you have -yes. So if you want to check an empty, it is going to be a not. That's all. MPTY. So use not of -s. You are checking the file is empty. That's all. So these are the things usually, okay, so we use in files. Okay, so if you want to check something which is a regular file, you want to do something, you go with -f. If you want to check whether it is a directory you want to do something, okay, so this one. So if you want to check if it is a block special file, you want to check whether it is a cat, like that. And also you want to like to check the permissions, and if you would like to check the file sizes, these are the options you have. So where to use is, okay, so these are widely used actually, /etc init.d. Okay, so let's say an example, you want to create users, list of users. Okay, so you want to create the list of users. How do you create the list of users usually? So list of users has to be there in a file. So you'll ask the user, okay, enter the file name. So you'll provide the file name. So the script cannot blindly enter into the script. Okay, so he has to check whether the file exists or not, at least the file has readable permission or not. So then only you can, okay, pull those information and you can execute. So it's a mandatory thing for you to check those things. Okay, so here if I use a some script network, okay, so here you can see, okay, there are a lot of conditions making on files. Okay, so if not this file, so if file means this condition is going to execute if the file exists. So but he is using if not, that is if the file doesn't exist, or if the file is not a regular file, then exit there itself, exit 6. Okay, getting the situation right. If not the file, he is reversing the logic. If the file is not a regular file, okay, exit 6. The file doesn't exist, or even if the file is not a regular file, he will exit. Okay, now so he is checking one more file. So if the file exists, he's not using not symbol now. The file exists, okay, he is importing the file. He is importing the file. See, you know, okay, yeah, at least if you are administrator background, okay, so what we usually see in etc sysconfig, you'll see networking is equal to yes. Okay, some parameters we usually put gateway, host name, all these things. What is these things? If you really look into, okay, so you feel this is a configuration file, might be. If with respect to configuration, it is a configuration file. If with respect to script, if I see this is a variable, networking is a variable and the data is yes. No zero conf is equal to is a variable and the data is yes. So system widely uses these things, variables. Okay, so he is checking an executable permission here. He's checking an executable permission. So if the /bin/IP doesn't exist, or even it does not have executable permission, then he is exiting with 1. Okay, so likewise, okay, based on your requirement of one more file, okay, so he's checking executable permission on another file. Okay, so he's checking if this is not a directory. If the directory doesn't exist, he's checking with not D. So if he simply use -d, if the directory exists, he will be checking that. That's all. Okay, so like that. Okay, so a lot of conditions you can put based on your. You can also check. Okay, here he is using static roots file, checking the file exists. Also one more file, he's checking executable permissions is there or not. Okay, so like this file tests are usually. See, if it is a file and you would like to perform anything on the file, just go and see the file permission option. That's all. Check file permission options. And yeah, so this is about, okay, so if command, this is about if command. So there are very small things you have, okay, so there is very few things you have in I mean if statement. So let's try to complete that. So two more operators you have in, okay, so whenever you go with statements, okay, so these are little complex, you need to understand these things little clearly. So you have hyphen a and hyphen o. So this is logical and this is logical or and ands and ors. If you are C language background, you might have already understood what is these things. Okay, logical and logical or. Now, so what is this logical ands and ors? Okay, so till now how many expressions you are using? You are checking only single expression. Now if your requirement is to check multiple expressions in the same one, expression 1 and expression 2, so you have to combine those two expressions with certain logic. What is the logic is you are going to use ands and ors. Okay, so let me write a small diagram table. So you are going to have expression 1, expression 2, and we'll be having and, we'll be having or. So if the expression is true, then it will be denoted with 0. If expression is false, then it is denoted with 1. Okay, so we are going to talk the expression things. Okay, so if it is equal to 0 means both the expressions are true. But just trying to make the probabilities. Okay, so what are the probabilities you can have on two expressions? If both the expressions are true or if both the expressions are false, or if any one of the expression is true. Any one of the expression is true means this one 0 1 1. Okay, so you'll be having total 4 probabilities. Both the expressions are true or both the expressions are false or any expression is false. Sorry, any expression is true. Okay, these are the situations you have. Now whenever you go with the logical AND, okay, what logical AND is going to tell you is if all the expressions are true, if all the expressions are true, then your compound expression is going to be true. You are combining multiple expression, okay, we call it as compound expressions. Okay, so what logical AND tells you is if both the expressions are true, your compound expression is going to be true. So only in one situation you're okay, if you are using logical AND. What is logical AND? You use hyphen a option. Okay, so if you use hyphen a between expression 1 and expression 2, so your compound expression is going to be true. Okay, if both are true. If here both are not true, false, false, false. Now coming to the logical OR, what logical OR tells you is if any one of the expression is true, if any one of the expression is true, okay, your compound expression is going to be true. If any one of the expression is true, yes, here both are true, at least minimum condition is satisfied. So this is 0, and here also it is 0, here also it is 0. Here any of the expression is true, no, here it is false. Once if both the expression fails, R also fails, so which is an option hyphen O. Okay, so here if you see, so here you're just going with, okay, so one expression and another expression, but the commands are same. When you go with compound expression, if you are checking two expressions, okay, and if any of the expression is true or false or based on the condition, if you are performing the same commands, then this makes sense, right? So here, okay, I need to put it in a single if statement. So my expression, another expression is going to be hyphen Z $A. So here you are having two expressions, so you need to understand, okay, so okay, which operator I need to use. So you have two operators, so which is -a, okay, so and the another operator which is -o. So which one you have to use? So which one you have to use, so that always depends upon what is your expression is. So what is my expression? If a is empty, if b is empty, I want to execute these commands. When this will become empty? If the user has not given proper input. Means if the first expression is true, or if the second expression is true, I want to execute these commands. When this becomes empty, if user has not given proper input. Okay, so in this case, okay, I'll choose an option -o. Choose an option -o. Why? Because if any value empty is given by the user, either A or B, I want to execute invalid input and I want to come out. So that's the reason I'll be using that one. So I'm going to use -o here. So let's validate. So if you have a doubt, actually put this condition, you just pull this information, put it in a different script, test it, that's all. Script 23.sh, I am giving both values empty, I am getting invalid input. I am giving 10, second value empty, invalid input. First value empty, second value giving, invalid input. If I give both the values properly, enter into main script. So perfect script, right? So there my requirement is R. There my requirement is R. So the same script, if you go with the etc init.d network, so you'll be seeing a lot of people using, I mean a lot of situations they are using unds and ors. Where are they? Unds and ors. Yeah, can you see here? Here is checking -o. So he is making a condition here, expression here. He is checking an okay expression here. So he is using -o. Likewise, okay. So you'll be finding some other things even. So here is very small script. I don't think so you'll find something here. Here you don't have much. So that is how, okay, so ands and ors are usually used. If it is a Red Hat 6 machine, you just go and open the scripts which are there in here, etc in ls. Let me see this. These guys are not using. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so usually you can get that particular information. Let me see. Can show you with the Red Hat 6 machine. Unds and ors are widely used. It always depends upon the script, how the logic is being written by the author who is writing that script. So here, so cd/etc init.d. So init. I don't know whether it is. Yeah. So this is Red Hat 6 machine. You'll find a lot of init scripts. That's all. At least I know some script which is so which is something like sshd. Not sure whether these. Yeah, you can see here he is using and -a. Okay, so slash -a. Here you can see again one more -a. Here you can see -a. So here it is, he is combining multiple expressions, which are, one is a numerical comparison, one is a file test. Doesn't matter, you will just combine, that's all. Okay, so likewise you can search with -o also. So you can see here -o. Okay, so -o logic has come with only one time for him. Okay, so based on that, okay, so we usually, based on our logic, okay, we'll decide which one we have to use. So that's fine. And finally, there is only one small thing which is left actually in these conditions. So you need to understand the syntax of your if command actually. So already I told you the syntax of your if command. So how the if command is, if expression, okay, but no, this is wrong actually. So if command, if it is a command, the exit status of the command is equal to 0, it is going to perform those commands. Means if the exit status of, if this command succeeds, the exit status of this command equal to 0, it executes these commands. Okay, now what is the square bracket then? Yes, square bracket is also a command. Square bracket syntax is also a command. So what is the command is test command. So you have a command called as test command. If command is actually never validating any of these expressions. Okay, so the actual one which is there behind the scenes, okay, which is validating is test command. Okay, the syntax of test command is test expression or expr. So you can use any of the one. So that's the reason if you open any script, okay, so usually what you're seeing a lot of syntaxes with directly square brackets. You can see here. Yeah, you can see here. This is a test command he is using directly. Here also there is a test command he is using directly. Okay, so the test command syntax is like this. So here you see test 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so echo dollar question mark. So it is 0 and 2 echo dollar question mark is 1. So test always returns two values. If the exit status equal to 0 means it is the expression is correct. The exit status of test command is 1 means the expression is false. That's all. Okay, so test command is actually validating. Okay, so even the test command, whatever operators we have used -o also, right? So this is also the operators of test command. Okay, so man space bash, if you see, so they have clearly explained here. Okay, so test command. So these are all the operators. Okay, the test command sorts out. Okay, so using the ANSI ordering. So basically, these all operators belongs to test command. Okay, so you might be seeing some people using double braces. You might be seeing some people uses double braces in the script. Okay, you can see here. So that particular one is called as compound command. This particular one is called as compound command. So that is actually shell expansion. We usually call it as shell expansion. So I suggest you not to use this particular one. Use a single brace, so which is nothing but a test command. If you use double brace, it is a shell. Shell is actually validating. Now who is validating? Test command is validating. So test is actually a different command. Okay, in the early versions of bash 1 version and 2 version, I think. Okay, so that is a different command, but after that they have imported all the features of test command into the bash and they made it as shell built-in command. So how can you check? Type space test. So test is a shell built-in command. Okay, so you always has to check the bash. See, anyhow, I don't think so. If you are using the operating system which is released after 2006, okay, you'll see all the features already included in bash. You don't need to worry. Okay, no need to bother anything about this. So you'll be having most of, at least after 2006, 2008, you'll find bash version 4 only all the time. You don't need to worry. If you are using very old operating system only, you need to check whether these options are there or not. That's all. Okay, so this is about test command. So behind the scenes, what is happening? A test command is actually working. So if command always looks for a, so 99% will be looking for an expression only. So that's the reason the syntax we usually talk it as expression. That's all. And okay, so you talked about logical ANDs and logical ORs in test command. You have logical AND and logical OR in command line also. Logical AND, which is double ampersand symbol, logical OR, which is double pipe symbol. So you have two more things. So to combine commands, you require logical ANDs and logical ORs. Okay, so how do you how do you use this? Let me write a diagram so that you'll understand. So you have two commands, let's say command 1 and command 2. So now you want to combine these two commands with double ampersand symbol, so which is logical AND, this is logical OR. Now if you see, okay, so it always depends upon, okay, so how when second command needs to be executed. It always depends upon when second command has to be executed. Okay, so when second command has to be executed is, what logical AND tells you is, if first command succeeds, then only execute second command. Means here $? Equal to 0. $? is equal to 0, then go and execute second command. Means $? when will become 0? If command 1 succeeds, then only $? equal to 0. Now coming to this particular one, so what it tells you is, okay, if it is not equal to 0, means if first command fails, then go and execute second command. Two different things. First command succeeds, go and create a second command. First command fails, then go and create second command. Okay, so I want to create a directory. So before creating a directory, I just want to create mkdir dir. Before okay, going and creating a directory, I want to place a condition. How can I check the directory exists? -d dir. So you have two conditions. If directory exists, I don't want to create the directory. The directory doesn't exist, okay, I want to create the directory. So pipe symbol I'll be using. Means when second command has to execute if first command fails. When first command fails, if the directory doesn't exist. So enter. So ls-ld dir. So directory is created. So let's say I'll remove this one, rm-rf, this one, and let's say you don't have that directory. Now if I use logical AND, when second command will be executed if first command is successful. The first command will be successful if the directory exists. Now the directory doesn't exist. So let's see whether the directory it is creating. No, it's not creating the directory. So based on the thing, based on your requirement, okay, so your command always, your logical ANDs and always change. etc init.d network. So here you can see if the variable networking equal to no, then only go and exit with 6. Okay, here's the condition he's making, networking equal to no, then and, okay, go and execute second command, which is exit 6. So whereas here, okay, when he want to exit 1, if first command fails, when first command fails, if the file doesn't exist, or if the file doesn't have executable permission, then only it is going to give exit 1. Then only it is going to use exit 1. So that is how, so usually use logical ANDs and logical ORs. So let's say I want to write a small script. Yeah.
Hello. Raghu, hyphen. Yeah, Raghu, can you hear me?
Yeah, Raghu. Yeah, Dheeraj, tell me.
Yeah. So here -a and ampersand both are doing the same work, right?
Almost, yes. But -a is to combine expressions. Hyphen double ampersand and double pipe is to combine commands. So these are commands actually. Those were expressions. So these were expressions of your test command. Okay. but with logical and logical R, you're actually combine commands whatever you execute in command line. So ls or cat or whatever the commands you're using.
Okay, so -a useful for expression and this for command.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So even if you okay, that is a good point actually. Okay, even if you understand this expression how it is working, okay, you take this situation. Okay, so
okay,
or you take this situation. So what logical and is saying, if both the expressions is true, then only go and okay, then only your compound expression is true, right? So the first expression itself is false. Is there any requirement of checking second expression? No. What logical and is saying, both the expressions are true, then make the compound expression as true. But here, first expression it validated, first expression itself is false. Is there any requirement of checking second expression? No. Directly we can say first itself is failed. We can say it is failed. Right?
Okay. All
okay.
Right.
So that is one thing. Yeah. So now one more thing. Okay. So if you take this scenario, so what logical and is saying? Okay. What logical and is saying here? Where is this? Second command can be executed. Okay. Only if first command is succeeds. Okay. So here also, what logical and is telling you? So second expression is going to validate if first expression is successful. As here the first expression is true, then only it went and checked the second expression. Otherwise, the same situation, it has written the false directly. Got the logics? First expression is true, then only it is going and checking the second expression.
Okay, can you write something in the script where you use -a and ampersand both so that it may get more clear?
Yeah, here we seen, right? So -a we already seen, -o with -o option. Okay, or let me see, let me put like this. Let me write a small script. So I want to make this particular script run by the user. Okay, run by a root user only. Okay, so how do you check whether it is a root user or not? By using id-u. So id-u is going to give me whether it is a root user or not. id-u is going to be 0 if it is a root user, right? So vm script 24 data. So I'll just give you id equal to, I'll just put it in this way, command substitution. Now, okay, and also what I want to do is I want to read a file, read -p, enter file name, so which is file. Now I want to place a condition that okay, this script has to be executed if $id is equal to 0 and the file exists, $file. Okay, so if the file exists and if the id equal to 0, then I want to perform something. Okay, I'll just write some echo commands only. So echo, you are a root user and echo $file $file exists. Okay, F5. So this is one way of executing. Okay, one way of checking using logical AND. But if you want to use it as a command, so what you will do now is you are going to put those commands actually here. So $id. So this is a command which is a test command which is equal to 0 and we are going to use -f $5. So you are using as a different commands now. So this is one command, this is another command, and then you are giving echo. If both succeeds, if this succeeds, it comes to here. If this succeeds, it comes to echo command. Echo, you are a root user. So I'm just giving you an example, but try to understand this one firstly. Okay, you're using logical AND. Yes, Dheeraj.
Yeah, it's clear now. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, okay, you're putting as an in the expression. Okay, so here also it is an expression, but it is an individual command. Now you see, my script will not execute. Why? Because I'm not a root user. Enter file name. The file doesn't exist. Okay, so you see here, I'll just go with root user cd /home/sb 48 24.sh. So I'm giving /etc/password, which is a valid file. So you can see here you're a root user and the file etc password exists. So let's say even I'm a root user, I have given some other file, so which is not going to helpful because the second condition is failed for. Okay, so usually I mean it always depends upon what you are putting over there. Okay, so what you're checking, whether you want to combine commands or whether you want to combine expressions. So you need to decide. So all the time you may not be using these only. So you might be using some other command. So all this depends. Okay, so which command we are using. .g network. So here you can see ands and ors are widely used. So here you can see if he is using in a command format. So this is one command and he is using, and this is another command. He is putting as a command. Okay, so if he is finally going to look for this whatever this complete exit status. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Okay. Anything, Ramchandra?
Yeah, okay.